For every number 2, there is a number 1. For every Behemoth 2, there's a Behemoth 1. Now, Behemoth 2 is somewhere off in that direction. I think about 400 blocks. So we're going to look at Behemoth 1 today anyway. So as you can see, it's very different stylistically, and it was built before a couple of important features were placed into the game. So you'll see that. Anyway, I walked out of that portal on July 3rd and then planted a flag or something and decided that that was the establishment date for Behemoth 1. Now, the first thing I did on Independence Day, July 4th, was build 2 towers. So this is Tower 1. Actually, no, I only built 1 tower, and then the second one was built 2 days after, but we can just say that they were both built on the 4th anyway. So these are their plaques. They were both decommissioned on the 26th because I built a new system, a new passive animal system, that made these obsolete. But the area below them is still relevant. It still handles pork chops, so they're turned into tallow here, or they're turned into pork chops depending on what I want. And if we wait, you might see some pork chops drop through. Anytime now. There we go. So, this was for collecting passive drops before I changed where passive drops go. I don't think these are relevant though, so I changed squids to spawn in big areas of water. So those insects really aren't necessary anymore. But that's besides the point. So this is a small hallway that's incomplete. Matter of fact, this whole place is incomplete because I abandoned it for Behemoth 2. So that's an elevator, and there's a signal yard, and there's a control room, and there's a maintenance ladder, and there's a lot of other things we'll look at. But for right now, we're going to look at the area behind this painting to see the plaque for Tower 2, established 6th, decommissioned on the 26th. This is some leftover redstone from something I don't need. This is the stoking clock. This is responsible for making the tallow cauldron downstairs and the glue cauldron over there work. And this is the distribution system for the items for the 2 towers. So right now it only has pork chops working for it, or it only has pork chops going through its system. Everything else is run through new distribution systems. So everything would go through here that wasn't wool or pork chops, and they would go into the respective chest. Wool would go into the hopper, and then the pork chops go on their way as I see fit, depending on how these pistons are configured. And those are controlled from the control room. So these are just to capture any animals who happen to die on their way down. They don't have much of a purpose beyond that. So over here, this is where the leather goes. As you can see, building up quite the stock. This is for tan leather over here. This is for glue. If we wait, we might see leather drop in. Oh well. Anyway, this is a control room. It shows whether the stoking system is working or not, because it's very important that it keeps working. Otherwise, pork chops will start to cause the world to lag as they overflow everything. So the pork chops are sent to being rendered, and I can, change where the leather goes. Now it's going to go into the glue cauldron. And now it's going to go into the chest. And finally, it's going to go back to a millstone and then to this cauldron. And of course, I can change where the animals go. I can send them to a pen or a block of lava or killing system. This is the control for the towers, for the hostile towers. So one is on, one is off. Not really off, it's just the spawn rate's really reduced. I never set up the lighting properly. And then there's supposed to be something set up here to kill chickens in a coop, but I never bothered. Alright, so coming here, this is my favorite part of Behemoth 1. This is the wool room. You can sit here and listen to wool go into these and just float on by. And it's really nice. I don't know, I like it. Just gets me so excited. And of course, if you wait here, you might be able to see wool drop into one of these cauldrons. Which one? I don't know. It's completely random. More likely to drop in over here than over here for some reason, though. I think it fell into the orange one. Either way, it's not as technically sophisticated as Behemoth 2's wool room, but it looks a lot better, and it's got a lot more character to it, and I like it all the more for those reasons. Anyway, let's see. We'll go out to the signal yard now. So all those signals, all those buttons have a corresponding wire. So these are the wires for the hostile towers. This is the... what is this? The milk room, okay, yeah. If there's a torch under here, it will send cattle to the milk room. If there's a block here, instead, the cobblestone and sends them to lava. And if there's a slab, they go to the kill system. But there's different block dispensers with lenses everywhere. And of course, lenses are something I had to backport from later versions of Better Than Wolves, so these weren't in the game. And of course, this is for the coop killing system, but it's obstructed and it's not finished. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the signal yard. Oh, this is where the leather goes, by the way. It's those chests you saw up front. So we're gonna go upstairs now. And we'll have a look at the holding pens as well as the loot system. So over here, this is the pig room. So you could ride around on pigs in a saddle and of course kill them when you're done, and you'll get the saddle back because I changed the game to allow pigs to drop saddles after they're killed. Only if they're saddled, of course. This is the bottom of the coop. I already took out all the eggs, but chickens would come in here, they'd sit in here, they make their eggs, and then, you know, kill them when you don't need them. This is the chicken lava pool here, and this is the back end of the animal sorter. As you can see, it's based off of Etho's system. There is a separator for sheep and cattle because I changed the sizes of animals and hostile mobs too, so they can all be sorted respectively. Automatically too. This is the cattle room. So you come in here, milk cattle, and then kill them when you're done. This is the wool room, or not the wool room, the sheep room. You can shear sheep and kill them when you're done. This is the outlet from the passive kill system. So if any animal's killed recently... Come on, Mr. Sheep. I don't have all day. There goes his wool. And on it goes to the wool distribution system. So, let's look at the hostiles. So this is the hostile loot collection system. This was... so these have to filter out arrows from bones because hardcore bellows blowing wasn't added into the game while this was built, so it's a little bit older, you know, than a lot of features. And of course, this is the hardest working machine here in Behemoth 1. It's off right now, but if I turn it on, you just sit here and you let planks fill your inventory. Is it efficient? No. It's not even close to efficient. It's terribly inefficient. It will run through an entire chest of bone meal. I think in like 5 minutes or so. But it is fast. And that's something I really value when I need resources on a very short time notice. So these are the valves for, I think, the hostiles. and those will become relevant in just a moment. So if I go upstairs, are these trapped? They're not trapped, okay. So if I flick these levers, and I stand here, well, he's just going to stand there because the water's been cut off. Okay, so we have some skeletons and some creepers. That's an unwanted skeleton. And they would sit here and they'd shoot the creeper until it died. Now, I'm going to finish the job for them because I'm going to release them because I don't want the skeletons to get blown up and then for this to get blown up by an angry creeper. Rather, instead of making you wait for a creeper to be killed by a skeleton again, I've already done that for you. And this is what I got. Yes, I definitely backported all the music discs. I did change music disc 11 out for Dog by C418, but this is a great record for me. Behemoth 2 doesn't have one yet, but it will eventually. So, these are the sorting systems. This is the sorting system for Hostile Loot. If we go above here, these are the towers, the two towers that were built originally. And these are the hostile towers. This is the passive spawning system. They're controlled by lights, as you can see. And this is the spider chamber. And if I wanted this to be off, I would just do this. It's separate from the hostile chamber because I just didn't need string at the time, so I didn't build a spider. I didn't bother incorporating spiders in this system. And this would have been the bone distribution system to some tree farms, but I never finished them. Alright, so going downstairs now, we'll have a look at a couple of other things. So we'll have a look at the distribution system for leather and other items. So wool goes through here and then down to the wool room to be filtered, and then it goes all the way back up there to the wool distribution system. This is the leather distribution system, and as you can see, unlike Behemoth 1 or Behemoth 2, the items do not, or the channels do drop. That's because, like I said, Behemoth 1 was built before a lot of important features, including the ability to do this. So this really changed a lot, and I didn't want to piston in ice everywhere, so instead I just made this a feature instead. And we're going to go ahead and collect this back up. So, as you can see, Behemoth 1 really is before a lot of important features. Anyways, we're going to go down to the wool distribution system now and have a look around. So this is the wool distribution system. It's just a hopper on top of a dispenser that's always on, and the dispenser just spits out wool whenever it receives wool from the hopper. So it can either go to this distributor, it goes from that one, that three-way distributor, to this one, and then there's two more distributors all throughout over here. So here's another one with a more clear view. You can see torch keeps the dispenser active and a hopper feeds it, and you can hear the turntable. If we go down here, we can see that there's a plaque that says there was a refit because these used to be piston operated, but I changed them over to dispensers, and that was on the 27th. And there's a lot of leftover old redstone here that I just haven't bothered to remove. And the turntables are right here. These are them. You can see them and hear them. So that's really it for Behemoth 1. We fall through here, back into the wool room. Like I said, it's not really technically sophisticated, but it does have style. Especially the wool room. This is my favorite part. Just hearing it work, and then watching the wool drop down into the cauldrons. That's really a part of this place that I enjoy the most. But that's it for Behemoth 1. Oh, you know what? I should have sent the elevator back down. That's what this is for. This is a maintenance shaft to go up and down just in case the elevator isn't there. Anyways, eventually I intend to finish this place, but it'll probably be a while. So until then, it's going to sit here like this. Alright, that's all for now. Bye-bye.